And I think we need to get back to just learning things the way that we did as babies as far as our movement patterns go. When we lose movement patterns, we try to find all these like exercises and workouts we're supposed to do, and it's actually crazy when you look at the progression of a baby learning their motor skills up to being like a fully mobile toddler, which toddlers are incredibly mobile, right? If you look at that progression, it makes perfect sense, and it's super repeatable, honestly. Like, you start out right here, and all they're doing is this is what they do for like the first few days. If you've ever seen a newborn, activating the hip flexors, activating the core, kind of getting a sense of the feet and the toes. They start gripping things with their fingers. They have really strong grips. They kind of move their shoulders around a little bit. This is all they're doing. That's all they're doing. Then at some point, right, you flip them over, you start doing tummy time with the kid, and what do? They start pushing themselves up, they start looking around, thoracic extension, a lot of like cervical strength up here and like the neck and stuff. They start moving their shoulders around, gaining shoulder mobility because they're trying to reach for things, right? Eventually they roll over. Okay, so now they're developing like thoracic rotation, and now at the point where they roll over, right, they're mobile, they can move and get places, because that's all they're really trying to do. They're not trying to get stronger, they're trying to solve a problem. Eventually they get to the point where they are like here, rolled over, and they can start to push themselves up because they've been practicing resisting gravity, right? So then they sit up, and once they sit up, now the game has changed. And this is actually where I'm kind of stuck. I haven't really mastered this step fully yet, because there's a lot of tension here, a lot of restriction here. And if you watch a baby, they can even go from this position and start moving around places and doing all types of stuff. Like, you know, like they get really strong here for a while. And a lot of times they'll even start scooting around, like, you know, like how many adults are even able to really do that with a lot of control and power. And then eventually, after they do that for a while, right, then eventually they start crawling up. They eventually start crawling, and then they start grabbing a hold of things, and they start grabbing a hold of things, and then they start assisting themselves up to stand, practicing a lot of assisted squats. And they do all of that before they learn to walk. And then once we learn to walk, we stop practicing those skills, and so we lose them. But we can gain them back the same way we gained them the first time.